Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. I think all these emojis in that order about sums it up, guys. This is from the blockchain backer here on Twitter. Jim Cramer says we are in a bull market, so buy on the dip. That happened just yesterday in the blockchain backer here, posting the Dow Jones Industrial Average chart here on the weekly. And on the same day, we've got Michael J. Burry here on Twitter, saying the exact opposite to sell. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, Michael Burry was the guy made famous by the movie The Big Short, played by Christian Bale, the guy who essentially shorted the market during the mortgage crisis and made millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for his clients. So we're seeing the Dow Jones is at the 0.702, usually the time that we see a retracement in a bear market. We've got Jim Cramer, though, here saying, of course, we are in a bull market, so buy the dip. And so what to do? Well, I think it's fairly obvious. CNBC's Jim Cramer on Tuesday told investors that the market is in bull mode, so declines represent opportunities to buy on a dip. Stocks rose on Tuesday with the S&P 500 reaching its best January performance since 2019 on strong corporate earnings and softer than expected inflation data. So Jim Cramer here telling us we are in fact in a bull market. I think it was Rob Art who was mentioning that we can't even go by what Jim Cramer says, even with the inverse, because now what he's doing, he's changed his tactics up and he's basically making a case for a bull and a bear market. So he's playing both sides of the fence so that he never seems wrong. I just thought this was funny. Obviously, the blockchain backer did as well. But whenever I see this type of advice solicited on Twitter, I always tend to just go back to look at what they're doing and not actually what they're saying. I saw this from Michael Branch. This has to do with the DeVere Group. Now, here's what they're saying. 82% of millionaires ask about putting crypto into their portfolio. This is what a survey reveals from the DeVere Group. They say 82% of millionaires surveyed asked their financial advisors about adding cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin to their portfolio despite the crypto winter. Wealthy investors understand that digital currencies are the future of money and they don't want to be left in the past. So 82%, that's a high figure. DeVere found that amongst the millionaire clients between $1 million and $5 million in investable assets, 82% have sought advice about investing in cryptocurrencies. Without providing any additional details, the asset manager firm wrote, 8 out of 10 net worth individuals or high net worth individuals have asked their financial advisors about including cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin into their portfolio over the last 12 months. So obviously, if you've got over $1 million to invest, you are likely looking at this market in a very different way. You're not waiting for FOMO to kick in. You are likely more or less somewhat educated or more of a sophisticated investor than the average Joe, the average retail investor. So, they were seeing the market down 75%. Now, this all happened throughout 2022, essentially at the end of December, which would have been here, December 2021. Essentially, what this survey shows is that they were asking about cryptos at this point here. Basically, the inverse of what we would generally see. In 2022, the crypto market delivered its worst performance since 2018, with Bitcoin, the headline-grabbing market leader, falling about 75% in the year, said DeVere Group CEO Nigel Green. This is how he commented on this. He explained that the cryptocurrency price drops resulted from investors reducing their exposure to risk-on assets, including stocks and crypto, due to heightened concerns about inflation and slower economic growth. However, the executive pointed out that despite the crypto winter, high net worth investors were consistently seeking advice from their financial advisors about including digital assets into their portfolios. So more evidence suggesting that these high net worth individuals very interested in crypto, and I think it was just a matter of when to get in, when the market bottomed. A 75% decline, very, very good. We have, though, however, historically seen Bitcoin go down 85%, and sometimes even more. Back in 2018, the market did decline about 88% from the top up here down to the trough of the bear market in December of 2018. So yeah, some are still calling for another leg down. Could we see levels go down even further? This is actually the total market cap, so not the Bitcoin market here on the daily, but the charts are fairly similar, and it gives you guys an idea of where, possibly where we could go next. Bringing it down here, hitting this mini resistance from back in December of 2020 would bring us down about 80%. So things to be paying attention to. Meanwhile, though, the big guys continue to accumulate. They're not going to wait for the ultimate bottom. They're cost averaging in as we go. BlackRock, for example, a global investment company managing over $10 trillion of assets as of January 2022, has increased its stake in Silvergate a crypto-friendly bank, to 7.2%. So another one here, guys, from Michael Branch. And Silvergate, specifically a crypto-friendly bank. BlackRock reveals that it owns 2,285,197 SI shares, an increase over the past 2 years. Records showed that BlackRock bought more shares, pushing their stake up from 1.1 million approximately, or 6.1% as of February 2021, to 1.8 million shares, or 6.3% in February of 2022. So they're continuing to increase their position. Remember, this is BlackRock investing in Silvergate. And here's another one, just coincidentally. Several United States senators have reportedly penned a letter requesting answers from Silvergate Capital, the parent company of Silvergate Bank, so the same company related to the collapse of cryptocurrency exchange FTX. So I thought this was a bit of an interesting little sub-connection here. Silvergate reportedly cited restrictions on disclosing confidential supervisory information related to the collapse of FTX in report to a similar December 2022 letter. So allegedly they know something about the FTX collapse, or maybe were included in it. In a nutshell, here's ultimately what Congress said. Both Congress and the public need and deserve the information necessary to understand Silvergate's role in FTX's fraudulent collapse, particularly given the fact that Silvergate turned to the Federal Home Loan Bank as its lender of last resort in 2022. So they're pointing this out. Warren, Marshall, and Kennedy signed their names onto a 2022 letter giving Silvergate until December 19th to provide lawmakers answers on its involvement in the FTX debacle. However, the senators reportedly said the firm had left out crucial information necessary to determine Silvergate's role in FTX's alleged fraud, including whether it mishandled transferring FTX user assets to Alameda. And so I thought I'd bring this up. I'm not going to read you guys this full article, but I will link it in the description for you. I thought I'd bring this up, though, because, even though we are seeing this potential problem for Silvergate, we've still got BlackRock increasing its stake in Silvergate to 7.2%. So they're obviously not scared to invest in this particular bank, this crypto-friendly bank, even though the parent company is under investigation. Things that make you go, could it have all been set up from the beginning? So thought I'd bring that to you guys. Wanted to thank Michael for a few articles there. Meanwhile, we've got Tranglo, guys, a Ripple partner, and they also did a survey. In a survey with our partners in the travel industry, we found that late cross-border payments increase cancellation rates up to 30%, increase operational costs by 40%, and cause a loss of 20% in repeat business. So because of cross-border payment problems, all these other types of problems can occur, a chain reaction that ultimately hinders business and repeat business as they point out here. So it's no wonder why companies like Tranglo and others are running to find solutions like the XRP ledger. I also happen to see this from Ian Binns here. XRP Ledger adds euro transfer capabilities via their Bitstamp listing. So we talked a little bit about Bitstamp. Bitstamp is an ODL partner. Well, now they're announcing support for euro-backed IOUs on the XRP Ledger. This implies that Bitstamp customers can now take advantage of the XRP Ledger to transfer euros across the network. And here's what Bitstamp said on Twitter. We're expanding our IOU services on the XRP Ledger. You can now use euro-backed IOUs as your gateway to the XRP Ledger. Dip your toes into DeFi with cost-effective and fast transfers, increased transparency, and zero transfer fees on all IOU transfers. As stated in its official blog, from January 26th to March 27th, 2023, Bitstamp says it will be offering zero transfer fees on all IOU transfers. So that is the latest development from Bitstamp, looking to issue euros, or rather more appropriately, be able to transfer euros over the XRPL, more stablecoins for more future retail adoption, as this statement puts it. So we are continuing to see this kind of thing, guys. Now we've got exchanges looking for support for what is becoming more and more of a reality as the days go on, the stablecoin, which will eventually likely change into a central bank digital currency, I think, at a certain point down the line. Which just got me thinking about this. I mean, this idea of stablecoin regulatory clarity. They want to do this. Governments want to be clear about stablecoins and kind of want to push through stablecoin regulation first. And we've heard about this in the US, and I'm sure other countries around the world are doing the same. And I think it's because they really just want us to get used to the idea of using a stablecoin instead of cash, or instead of traditional methods that we've been using to date. So if we can get used to this idea of a stablecoin, I think they think that moving us along to a central bank digital currency will likely be an easier process. Right now, you think if you throw a central bank digital currency at the public, they'll be like, well, what the heck is this? I don't know about what, I'm not comfortable using this. So, I mean, it's a process. It's a slow, tedious process for them to get us comfortable. And, we've seen it with other facets of our lives as well. Some may argue that our government's telling us to stay inside during the beer flu was a test run, a dress rehearsal for what they plan on doing next. I mean, I'm not going to touch on that in this video, and I know some people will probably get mad at that accusation, so I'm just going to carry on here. Another partnership announcement, guys, from MacAttack XRP. Ripple partner Novatti procures merchant acquiring license in New Zealand. So this is big news. Through the license, Novatti could offer PayX crypto solutions to merchants once it's fully developed. So this merchant license places them among one of the exclusive non-bank acquiring providers in the nation. The development was announced by Novatti through its official press release. This is a significant move from the leading payment giant towards extending its reach in the merchant acquiring scene, as it already established its acquiring business in Australia and received licenses from the two largest payment networks, Visa and MasterCard, in November of 2021. So this is just Novatti expanding on their Ripple partnership. They did partner with Ripple back in 2020 to leverage RippleNet for cross-border settlements, as it mentions here. The merchant acquiring entity is a firm that enables merchants to accept card payments from customers. The acquiring entity establishes a merchant account for the merchant and provides them with the necessary payment processing services and infrastructure to accept credit card transactions. So now Novatti looking to move into New Zealand in a meaningful way. They started obviously in Australia, a company that is definitely growing in that region of the world. Through this solution, merchants can provide a wide array of payment methods, ranging from traditional options like credit cards and direct debits to alternative payments like Alipay and WeChat. Novatti also plans to deploy PayX Crypto, its unique payment solution, soon. PayX Crypto, which is currently in development, will enable customers to pay with their crypto wallets. So this is ultimately where it's going. This is ultimately where I think a lot of these payment providers are looking to, really leverage the XRP ledger and be able to use RippleNet, that seamless workflow to transfer anything of value to anything else of value using the XRP token. Here's a quote from Kian Jackson, Novatti's general manager. We are excited to be able to offer New Zealand merchants, which we believe will solve many of the business pain points around not being able to offer customers split payments and a diverse range of payment methods. Interesting, split payments. Never thought of that, but let's say you hold gold and let's say you hold Bitcoin and you want to pay 50% of your bill in gold and 50% in your Bitcoin. Well, the XRP ledger can solve for that very easily. And so I think, more and more we are going to see people start doing this with the assets they hold. Considering we're seeing extreme inflation for all fiat currencies, holding assets, holding precious metals, I think we're going to see more people move towards that. And so how do you spend an ounce of gold when gold is over $1,000 an ounce, over $1,500 an ounce, or whatever it's trading at right now, maybe closer to $2 at this moment in time. Here, let's just look it up real quickly just so we get the right figure here. Yeah, $1,929 per ounce. So how do you do that? Well, if everything runs on the XRP ledger, it definitely does make it easier. So that sounds like where they're moving eventually. Wanted to thank MacAttack XRP for pointing that out. Another one here, guys, from Michael Branch. This one has to do with Unstoppable domains. When Unstoppable came on the scene, they really changed the game, putting domain names on the blockchain. So if you, for example, use a domain name through Unstoppable, you can create a website, and there's no third party really that can take it down. If you hold the keys to that domain, you essentially have the power to be able to do what you want. So here's the latest news from them. They are actually integrating with the XRP Toolkit. Unstoppable Domains recently added support for the XRP Toolkit, a platform for managing cryptocurrencies and trading on the XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange, according to a Monday announcement. XRP Toolkit, created by Toho Labs, makes it much simpler to secure, manage, and interact with crypto assets on the XRP Ledger. By using this client-side interface, users can send, receive, and trade any asset found on the decentralized platform without paying commission fees. So, more great news here for those of you guys who are using Unstoppable. I do have an affiliate link for Unstoppable Domains in the description of this video. I got to admit, I've secured my domain names, but I really haven't had the time to put up a working money crypto domain on the web yet. But it's good to see, more integration here with the XRP Ledger, the XRP Toolkit in this particular case, adding more features such as escrow and trust lines. Anyway, I'll link this in the description if you guys are interested in that. Again, wanted to thank Michael for pointing that out. And as we're seeing more AI technology take hold, guys, we are observing more interesting analytics, or maybe a different way to think about XRP price. People have been using this ChatGPT to estimate where the price is going to go next. And I got to admit, this next one a little lackluster. Machine learning algorithm sets XRP price for the end of this month, February 28th. Today is the first of the month. And just based on, this is interesting because it was just based on just technical indicators. So the same way computers have been able to trade automatically for traders for years now, AI technology is using technical indicators such as Bollinger Bands, moving averages, moving average convergence, divergence or MACD, relative strength index or RSI, and others to price forecast cryptocurrencies like XRP. And when I was saying this is a bit of a lackluster prediction, it kind of is, because throughout February of 2023, what it is suggesting is that, yes, it is slowly going to increase, but only by increments of about 0.005. So you can see down here, right now we're trading just over 40 cents. And you can see this slow increase over February as per this AI prediction. We can see some dips and valleys, and then finally we will top out at about 40.5 cents. So down here, 0.403 by the end of February. What it is suggesting is that we will be just over 0.406. So kind of a crappy prediction, right? Let's bring up XRP here. We haven't taken a look at price for XRP today. So yeah, 0.403. Not too much movement. I mean, we've even been warned that February might be a tumultuous month, and to kind of stay away from the trading in February. I don't know, ChatGPT, it's interesting because it takes information that is obviously already available to it, and it aggregates it to create the most intelligent answer it can based on the information that it aggregates. In some cases, I can see it working out really well, but in other cases, I can see it falling flat. We'll take a look at this next tweet from Crypto Eddie here on Twitter. In this scenario, the worth of XRP would need to increase to $16.67 per unit in order to transfer 1 trillion USD daily using a liquid supply of 30 billion XRP, with each unit of XRP being used twice. So there's always been this contested issue. When we used to create price models back in the day, a lot of the flaws in the early models were that XRP would only be used once, and obviously this is not the case. I mean, it could be used thousands of times a day, realistically. Another big question mark is how much XRP is going to be liquid. In this particular model, so Crypto Eddie asked about the price if 30 billion XRP were available liquid, and if each XRP were to be used twice, this represents an increase of 41.68 times the current price of about 40 cents. So here's what she asked it: if 1 trillion USD is to be transferred daily using XRP with a liquid supply of 30 billion XRP. Now, we do have to remember the liquid supply of XRP. If I just bring that up right here, click on that, we can see circulating supply is over 50 billion XRP, 50.8 billion. So why use 30 billion? Well, we always have to assume that some XRP is going to be held by you and I, right? We're not relinquishing our XRP. And so if there is less of a supply, obviously the XRP that exists will command a higher price because it will be in demand. So she's assuming here XRP with a liquid supply of 30 billion XRP. Each unit of XRP can be reused twice in this transfer. So assuming too that every XRP only used 2 times, the calculation down here, $1 trillion USD, so that's the amount we're moving, divided by the liquid supply, times 2 uses per XRP per day equals $16.67. So an interesting scenario here. In this scenario, the worth of XRP would need to increase to $16.67 per unit in order to transfer 1 trillion USD daily using a liquid supply of 30 billion XRP, with each unit of XRP being used twice. This represents an increase of 41.68 times the current price of 40 cents per unit. If you recall, we've also talked about this figure here. Now, that was only $1 trillion per day, but guys, Swift transfers $5 trillion per day. The organization recorded an average of 41.8 million messages per day on a year-to-date basis as of July of 2021, with an estimated value of about $5 trillion per day in funds movement. So, I mean, we're hoping XRP is going to move all the money. Again, this is still a fairly conservative assumption. And I mean, we're just having fun with this ChatGPT. Ripple it in down here saying, consider that same XRP can be used 21,600 times per day at 4 seconds per transaction. So Crypto Eddie lowered the circulating supply and reused the XRP at 100 times in a 24-hour period. and this gave us about $5 per coin. So same kind of scenario here, only used 100 times, lowered the liquid supply to 20 billion XRP. The worth of XRP would need to be approximately $5 per unit. So this can be calculated below here. You guys can see the 1 trillion divided by 20 billion XRP times 100 equals $5 per XRP. And so, I mean, this is what ChatGPT is assuming based on what it knows about XRP today. Of course, in these scenarios, we're not even considering all the money, let alone all the other utility that is going to be developed on the XRPL. So what do you guys think for a start? $5 to $16? Seems like a good starting spot, but I think this scenario could just be the beginning. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.